Hey gamers, how you doing? Sorry I've been a little bit quiet recently, as you can see, I'm an octopus now. This is Scarlet Hollow. This is a game that's very, very good, but they haven't finished making it yet. And it's been a minute. The last episode, I believe, was 4 years ago, and there's still supposed to be 2 more to go, and everyone takes exponentially more time than the previous episode, because this is a game where choices matter, where they're still in the process of penning out a seemingly infinite number of divergent story paths. And it's it's been very hard to stay hype about, but you know, every time an update happens is an exciting time. And I remember I checked the game tips. I didn't record the first 3 chapters at all. I just played those on my own time. And then I did. That's 2022. Those are probably chapter 3. No wait, no, that's the last chapter. 2022 was the last chapter. This is. It's been a minute. In their defense, the devs did make an entire. One, they're writing too many words. They've set themselves up with too much work, and it's going very slowly for them. And 2, they did make a whole separate game that also has too many words in it since the last episode. Is the game a little bit loud? Should I turn that down? Nah, it's probably fine. It's probably fine, and if it's not fine, you know, we'll find out in post. That'll be fun. We have made a lot of decisions already up to this point. We'll have to slowly try and get back into it. Like I said, I checked the tips, but I only had the previous episode. I kind of skimmed it. I know the cliff notes, and I remembered some important. I remembered the important bits. I think I remembered the boy eating his mom. And in case you already know about Scarlet Hollow, and you just here checking out how things can go differently for some people. The traits we have, the 2 traits we pick at the start of the game, we have keen eye, and we have talks to animals. That's how we operate. That's the kind of detective we are. That's our copper type. Would you like to see a recap? That might be handy, actually. Give a full recap. Let's see everything that it has been 4 years. I believe before that, Chapter 3 took a year, and then the ones before that all occurred within the same year. Just each one takes substantially more time, an order of magnitude more time than the previous one. The funeral of Pearlie and Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. We hate Tabitha with Tabitha's enemy. Very few people are enemies with Tabitha. They had to edit the game to make it easier to not be Tabitha's best friend. And we managed to not be Tabitha's best friend before they'd made that change. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Fortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. It's a dang dump. It's a whole mess. There's possums running through the furniture. I won't go wandering anywhere else. If you value your limbs, the flaws have been known to give out. I think Stella currently doesn't like us either, which is also impressive because Stella likes everyone. You want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I... Oh yeah, she's a YouTuber, so you know, my natural enemy. The first major choice in the game was that you can pick who to save between this human man and this dog. And I believe the split is like 95% of people save the dog, 5% of people have already played once and saved the dog and now want to see what would have happened if they clicked the other option. And then sometimes they save the man. I can't imagine ever clicking that button. That's a bad deer. The animals got kind of lumpy. It's a whole thing. Can you hear the sweet whispers of new growth? That's me being able to talk to animals, that is. Don't remember him saying that. Duke grapples with the thing as it grabs his shotgun, pushing the barrel out of the way as it grasps for Bertie with oddly jointed limbs. Is that the chicken? Don't remember the Bertie law. Stella stares in shocked silence, as if paused, watching the other creature attempts to wrestle Gretchen into the darkness, her desperate cries going unheeded. You die for Gretchen. Of course we saved the dog. Who wouldn't? Man, these are ditchlings. We don't like those. They're not our friends. Often they show up in the background. They're all very wiggly and all just a little bit different in how they're wiggly. They're adorable critters, as you can see, but they're not our friends. They tried to eat the dog. Duke died, right? I'm pretty sure Duke died. We don't like the cops either. I've been kind of role-playing that my character is a real grumpus and kind of awkward. Doesn't really like talking to humans. They only really get on with the animals. And there's a lot of options to lean into that. Except for Wayne. We love Wayne. It's all coming back. This is Dustin. We love Dustin. We also know Dustin Mom. We also know this cat. They sometimes pretend to be French, so they don't have to talk to us. I mean, I think they speak a lot of French, but they do speak English. They just pretend they don't. Avery was my favorite of the human cast because of hair and shirt reasons. I tend to always just kind of go. There's kind of flirting options and romance options with a lot of the cast, and in situations like that, I always just go for the one who has the least about him but the best hair. Generally in video games, that's kind of my thing. That's kind of my strat. Oscar's a very popular one too. Oh, I remember what we're doing. This is episode 2 is going into a cave to save some kids. Dr. Kelly, we hear anime. Oscar might also not like us at this point because there was an incident. I'm the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety. Don't you forget that. Even if it's already too late to stop what's going to happen. We love Wayne. Now, this was the most successful chapter we had, I think. It's all downhill from here. Chapter 2, a bunch of kids were sneaking off into the mines. They had like a secret club. I've said when I were looking at the game tips, I said 2 was my least favorite episode, but I liked all the episodes. I think 2 might be the least strong episode, or maybe I just don't like succeeding. 3 and 4 were wild. She does think her house is haunted. There is a reason we might revisit that in episode 3. So we learned of Tommy knockers, which are creatures that cause cave-ins. And then everyone snuck off into the dang caves. Also, my name's Spruce. Yeah, we found weird things that gave us memories that happened before. before we were born. I can't remember exactly what happened. This is what happens when you take 4 years to make an update. I can't remember exactly what we saw, but we did manage to get all the kids out of the tunnel with all of their limbs intact, which I don't think anyone else. It's kind of if you remember back in the day, the Walking Dead point-and-click adventure game half the game was playing it and choosing what decisions you made and whatever. And the other half of the game was talking to people who you knew who had the game about what their choices were and making fun of them for all their bad choices, even though you'd made equally bad choices. A lot of people don't like those games because they're like, your choices don't really matter. It's all just smoke. It's all just an illusion. And those people only played half the game. They didn't play the second half of the game where you make fun of other people for their choice, for their decisions. And that's an important part of Scarlet Hollow as well, even though the choices are drastically more impactful, as evidenced by each episode taking like 4 times as long to occur. Because there's more branching paths now. Sometimes this lady has one less leg than we're seeing here, and that happens if you don't do this good enough. If you don't save all the kids from the caves good enough. I don't know if there's an option where people get trapped in the cave and do not escape. I think I've heard someone say there was, but I've never seen evidence of it. I haven't seen a lot of the things that didn't happen on my run. I haven't been watching, I don't know. I've been watching other people in the gang. I'm gonna watch Keisha's run. Keisha's run. I'm gonna link to it in the description. This is Dustin, Mom. This is Dustin. Squatter has moved in to Dustin Mum's house. We have found the squatter. We do know of the squatter. We have had visual contact with the squatter. I don't know who this person is. This is what happens when it's 4 years apart. I don't know who Janie is. I don't remember if we're enemies. We're probably enemies. We might have to lean on the side of probably enemies. We did save the kid. She's telling us we did a good job for saving the kids, and maybe we're amicable to that. Sybil's not our enemy. Sybil's cool. Sybil's a witch grandma. Oh, sorry, Bo. I didn't remember you either. I remember Avery, of course. It's got good shirts. Oh, that's Mad Jimmy. We hate Mad Jimmy. Mad Jimmy's the only one of the animal cast who we don't like. Mad Jimmy's probably my favorite. Here's how good the writing is in Scarlet Hollow, right? So, the joke is, you're talking to the mayor the whole time. And then you meet the mayor, and the mayor's a dog. This is a common joke. This is a joke that's been done before. We understand this joke. The second tier of the joke, which you only ever get if you picked talks to animals, as one of your 2 traits that you pick at the start and you can never change, and you can never get another one. Mayor Jimmy's not just a dog. He is the mayor in Jaws who wanted to keep the beaches open despite the shark attacks, but in dog form. This is why we love Scarlet Hollow. Oh, I remember this guy. Strange Man. I remember Strange Man. He's a dang freakish Strange Man. He can talk to animals too. There were like one line where he kind of, I don't know if he could talk to animals or if he just knew that we could talk to animals without us having to explain anything, you know. And this is Reese. We love Reese. He's kind of got, he's a sad lad, but we love him. Are we on chapter 4? Reese featured heavily in chapter 4. Reese is very sick, but we'll get back to that. We'll revisit that later. Sick every day. I'm not getting better. Don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. Poor Reese. Okay, Oscar wanted us to check it. We might be doing that now. no. Oscar's house was a little bit... Oscar's house was haunted. I don't remember too clearly this one. I would have watched the tapes on this one, but I never recorded it. I played this one offline. It was fucking crazy though. Chapter 3 is fire. Chapter 3 is the one I said was my favorite in the previous. Look at this. I also mentioned on that one, on the last video, during this nightmare sequence, all the dog says is woof. The dog does not talk to you. The dog is fake dog. Also, we saw a lot of Wayne. There you are. Quite the maze, isn't it? Crawling with these miserable little parasites. You always gotta be watching out for these fellas in the background, by the way. Especially towards the end of an episode. When you... Each episode starts off during the day, and you kind of just recapping, regrouping after whatever happened last time, and maybe just having some nice talks, and maybe doing a little bit of investigating into the various mysteries of Scarlet Hollow. And then as the day progresses, things kind of get spookier and spookier, and then it kicks off once it's night. We did a bad job of this one. Thanks, Wayne. Did Wayne help us? So, due to the thing in the house was like the ghost was mad because I can't remember exactly what. It's been 4 years since the last episode, and it's been 5 years since this episode. Our lineage did something bad. We're part of the us and Tabitha are cousins, and we're both part of the lineage of the rulers of Scarlet Hollow that always have been. And they've done some bad stuff, and these ghosts had died because of bad ancestors, and they wanted to in payment for the damage caused, they wanted to take life off of us. And I just said I'm not gonna do that, and I just left. And the house is still haunted. The house remains full of absolutely chock full to bursting with ghosts. We achieved nothing in chapter 3. You made the right choice. Would have been so easy to fall for its tricks. I'm proud that you didn't. We love Wayne. Wayne's our boy. We've been flirting with Wayne a little bit. That might be when Stella started to feel like maybe we weren't cut out for this. And we're on to chapter 4 now, I guess. Did I go to the mines? Check the tips and I don't remember. I remember the strike were there, and that meant Tabitha wasn't in. And I was the only one who Tabitha wasn't in when the episode started. And everyone was yelling in chat that they thought that was crazy. I did stream the last one. I've loaded it as just a stream bot to YouTube. Does my octopus just stay out the whole time because I talk so much? He ducks down a little bit when I'm not talking. Look at that. See? This morning we met the ghost that's in the living in the greenhouse. Tabitha locked a goat in the greenhouse and then kicked out Dustin's mom. This is very important stuff. I don't know why it's not recapping all the things we did with our friends, the animals. There's also a gang of dogs who were keeping the ditchlings at bay, and we told them to look for Stella because Stella were missing. So Reese, you'll see. It's Wayne. So Reese turned into him. Reese wasn't sick. He was a scary monster man, and his mom was poisoning him so he didn't turn into the scary monster version of him. And during this sequence, we Reese turned into a monster. We just kind of stood there like a deer in headlights. Reese seemed okay. He didn't seem like he wanted to hurt us. Wayne tried to help. We didn't. We didn't manage to get helped there. We got the option to call Tabitha for help. I said, "Fuck Tabitha. I'm not calling Tabitha for help, even if I'm going to get eaten by a horseman." Reese went upstairs to eat his mom. The mom told us to go get tranquilizer darts because she's using bear tranquilizers and those aren't good enough. We need elephant tranquilizers. The situation has escalated. So we went and we got the elephant tranquilizers, and then she said, "Hand me the elephant tranquilizers," and I didn't do that. And that led to another scenario that no one else in the gang also got, which it has skipped past here, but I might be able to put a screenshot in or something. So Reese came into the room and he ate his mom, and then he left. And we didn't really achieve anything in episode 4 either. We were just present while a mom was eaten. We've got kind of a back catalogue of failure going into episode 5. Sorry, that was a really long... I probably won't leave all that in, but that was 23 minutes of just recap. It's time we keep going. We didn't do a good job of talking to Stella when we found out. Stella, we asked if this was where her mom died. She said she didn't want to talk about it. Then we waited for her to open up, and she left. Was how that went. And I remember everyone was yelling at me in chat about that. But listen, we don't like talking to humans. We like talking to animals. We don't have a lot to say to people. People kind of suck. A lonely piano refrain echoes through your head as you sleep. It feels like it goes on forever, clumsy and uncertain of itself, stopping and starting at random. But as your dreams start to fade, you realize the music is following you to the waking world, continuing even as your mind re-solidifies and banishes the last few remnants of your dreams. When it finally stops, you're startled by the sudden silence. Human? Human, wake up! You slowly come to, roused by the voice of your small opossum friend. I did have an achievement for falling out with Dustin, and I don't know why I got that achievement, because I absolutely didn't. I would never say anything to hurt Dustin. I would never do anything to hurt Dustin. You feel strangely cold and uncomfortable, your muscles stiff and achy, your head still cloudy with sleep. I didn't check the achievements until, today. So I was worried that I had fallen out with Dustin, and he wasn't bluffing. Your vision comes into focus. See? Human not dead. Okay. No easy breakfast for Dustin and Dustin, Mom. Dustin stands on your chest, his beady black eyes staring down into yours. Dustin's mum is hovering a healthy distance away. You are not in your bedroom. Traitorous marsupial. Start crying? I think that's a fair way. That's with status we mean to go on, huh? Your lower lip trembles as tears well up in your eyes. They bubble over, streaming down your face, as you lie on your back on the dirty floor, crying. Human is being creepy, leaking and shaking. Maybe human is sick. Dustin, get away from this sick human. No, human is crying. It means human sad. Okay, Dustin here. Nothing bad will happen to human. Dustin spent too much time in human house. Did you do something just now, like a piano? Explore generally means it's not going to advance the scene, but sometimes doing an explore option does lock you out from the other explore options. Dustin not know about piano. Could hear some weird bird, though. No need to worry about Weird Bird. Weird Bird sound like it far away from here. We'll stand up and get our bearings. Your head lightly throbs as you attempt to get your bearings. You stand, your legs still wobbly with sleep, the odd tilt of the floor adding to your unsteadiness. So, this is the Forbidden Wing, and Wayne dragged you here in your sleep. Can you ever... No one told us that, but maybe he assumes we'd ask. Can you ever trust the safety of your bed again? A cat complained that there's maybe some dialogue options that don't necessarily go down the correct path, because there's so many dialogue options. How many people are even waking up here with Dustin and Dustin Mom? There are 2 doors out of the barren room. One is a normal doorway, leading into what you assume to be a hallway. The other is a door that must have once been hidden, though the ruined state of the wallpaper has robbed it of its secrecy. Help! I mean, secret door. I don't want to call for help because Tabitha might hear me. There doesn't seem to be a clear way to open it, besides the brass circle where a handle should be. Home on other side. Look through the hole where the handle used to be. That's what a smart guy would do. We got the smart guy, but we are very smart. That's our thing. You lean forward, peering into the narrow opening at what lies beyond the door. The marsupial's right. It's your room. Which means you'd be able to slip right back into the safety of the rest of the house if you could just manage to find the handle. They'd probably just stay through here. How did they get here? It's fine. I don't want to ask when I've just looked. I skipped that by accident. Before you is a long hallway. Dust dances in the weak sunlight, beaming in through cracked glass. A tinge of mildew stings your nose, warning you away, though there's nowhere else to run to now. The house, very little of the house is still used. Most of it's fallen into advanced disrepair. It's kind of listing on the title screen is the building. It's the one on the hill in the distance. An ornate entryway, its door long gone, breaks the monotony of the faded wallpaper, and a staircase looms at the far end. You also can't help but notice the tracks leading up and down the grimy hallway floor. And you aren't surprised to see Wayne's unmistakable large boot prints among their number. Clearly, the Forbidden Wing is only forbidden for some. We can investigate the entryway. We love to investigate. You make your way to the large set of double doors in the middle of the hallway. You can hear the light click of claws on hardwood as Dustin Mum toddles along a safe distance behind you. Are we calling her Dustin's Mum now and not just Dustin Mum? Because she was Dustin Mum this whole time. I could have sworn. It seems like some kind of entertainment room. The sort you'd expect out of fancy rich people who wanted to show it off. It would feel elegant if not for the massive crack that runs the entire length of the floor. The air here stinks of mildew. You can see why Tabitha doesn't want you exploring these rooms. There's a large painting on the far wall of the room. From a distance, it looks like it might depict the town. Something else catches your eye too. A bookshelf. Or rather, what's left of a bookshelf, hanging by a single rusted hinge. Its sagging shelves reveal some sunless space beyond, once hidden, now exposed by the rot of this house. Dustin almost never come in here. All open space, too scary. But room behind wall is good hiding place. Dustin hide there sometimes. As he references this room behind wall, Dustin stares at the broken down bookshelf that had already caught your eye. Let's look at the painting. Are we gonna go in the hidden room, of course? I love this lad. The painting highlights a number of old buildings and locales, many of which you've already visited. The town hall, the estate, the mines, and the clinic, still called a hospital at the time of this painting. And then there are the places you've yet to see. the church, as well as the historical Callaway / Tremaine homesteads. Tremaine homesteads. The faded bronze plaque beneath reads, "In commemoration of Enoch Scarlet, head of the Scarlet Hollow Landmark Revitalization Project. Let the past never be forgotten." Dustin no get. Always making... That was a really bad Dustin, Mum. Always making mark on old cloth. Does not know that cloth for eating. Let's go in the hidden room. You test each step as you make your way across the room, especially careful as you cross over to the ruined section of the floor in front of the bookshelf. You can hear Dustin's mum hurrying behind you. I don't like that it's Dustin's mum now. I thought her name was Dustin Mum. That was pure coincidence that Dustin is Dustin Mum. What are you trying to pull, game? We got to dark room now. Good. Big open space bed. Vulnerable to attack. The space is dark. Its features barely illuminated by the faint light trickling in through the myriad of cracks and holes in the walls. The wallpaper, a deep, exquisite red, adds a blood-like glow to the dimness. It's fancy in here. They got skulls. And gun. The walls are lined with ornate display cabinets, some empty, some still presenting their antique treasures. Nestled between the cabinets, a single tall bookshelf remains standing, its occupants dusty but mostly intact. But all of these are ornamental details. Your focus is drawn to an expensive-looking antique desk in the center of the room. Good place to take nap. Examine the desk. On the top drawer. The top drawer mostly contains old-timey letter-writing materials, complete with a fancy dagger-shaped letter opener and a wax stamping kit emblazoned with the initials ES. Enoch Scarlet. You can't help but notice the wax has been nibbled. Red stuff stick to Dustin teeth. Tastes good, though. Underneath, you find a pile of crumbling financial documents, scrawled in neat cursive in every spot that needed a signature in the name Enoch Scarlet. This must be his desk, meaning this must also be his study. And at the very bottom of the drawer, you're surprised to find a face you recognize staring back at you. An antique photograph of a young man, his blonde hair nearly white against the dark sepia background. Steady. He looks almost exactly the same as he did in your vision. Almost. There's a carefree look in his eye that seems to have faded away by the time he found his way to that hospital bed. You close the drawer. Other drawer. The bottom drawer offers some resistance as you try to pull it out. It seems that it was locked, though the bit of metal attempting to hold it shut seems to have rusted to the point of uselessness years ago. It gives in with a sharp tug, rotting wood splintering softly somewhere within the century-old desk. Inside you find a strange collection of glass vials. Their surfaces are clouded over, but you can make out what seems to be paper, preserved somehow inside the containers, a hint of writing visible at the edges. You notice some of the corks have been lightly chewed. Pretty good for eating. Dustin always saved these for special occasion. Tastes like old pond. Fine vintage. We gotta look at the vials. Can't just have vials. You reach for one of them, twisting the cork. It unseals with a pop, releasing a smell like an old pond, like decaying leaves and damp earth. You tug at the corner of the slip of paper and it unfurls, the writing across its surface as crisp and clear as if it had just been written. My dog's going crazy. Pepper, please. We're recording a Let's Play. It's a serious business. To Miss Maeve. I know it's been several years since my last visit, but I do hope you remember the young lad who used to find himself at your doorstep more than you probably would have liked. I write you now with the utmost. But the paper dissolves before you can finish reading it, as if it finally realised that it had been submerged all these years, turning to useless pulp between your fingers. New place to get tasty wets! Nothing Dustin Mum likes to see more than Dustin live in comfort. But Dustin better not let comfort make him soft. That's how Dustin brother die. It's unlikely you'll have the chance to return here, and the vials are too delicate to carry with you. Keep reading. We can do a second vial. You open up another. Miss Verena, trouble with tea, your presence is requested at. And another. Verena, know what you've tried. Do not appreciate the attempt at subterfuge. Thought we both. Again it dissolves. Some of these letters are addressed to Miss Maeve, and some to Verena, all assigned ES. You assume these have to be from Enoch. Many seem unimportant, just listing a time and place. You assume meetings between Enoch and whoever this Verena may have been. Before you know it, the draw's empty. The floor around you scattered with drained vials. The air stinking of wet rot. That's all we got from desk. You step away from the desk. Nothing else. Cap, take the gun. I don't really want to have a gun. I don't think there's much. I don't think I trust this character with a gun, and also I don't think you can just shoot a lot of the things that are going on in Scarlet Hollow. You head down the eerie corridor, following the path laid out in the dust. No, Dustin, no go there. Dustin, come back! You turn to face Dustin's mom, who stands a little ways down the corridor from you, her posture tense. But Dustin is helping! Nothing bad'll happen to Dustin with big strong human around. Dustin mum say no. Don't care how strong human is. Only Dustin mum know what's best for Dustin. It's Dustin mum again. Dustin looks up to you with his large, black, wet eyes. Human will have to go on without Dustin. Thanks for the help, Dustin. He clambers down from his place on your shoulder, gripping your clothes with his little clawed hands. Hope human can find human-sized hole. We go back to Dustin house now. Human should be careful. Up there always smell like hurting. Aww. And with that final word of caution, Dustin and Dustin Mum toddle away, disappearing into some crevice that will take them back to the comfort of your dresser drawers. That's where they normally live. They live in the drawers. We give them bread from the kitchen. You continue following the tracks left by what you assume to be your fellow humans. And Wayne, whatever Wayne is, they take you up a flight of stairs, and you find yourself on the 3rd floor of the estate for the first time. There are more footprints leading all the way down the hallway and into the furthest door. There are much fainter ones leading to the room in front of you, its doorway hidden behind a stack of boxes. The tracks are old enough to have accumulated some dust. They were also, notably, not made by boots. If you had to guess, you'd assume they were loafers or some other kind of low heel. Window's furthest away. So I want to start at the beginning. The boxes slide out of the way with a bit of elbow grease. You push past them into the room beyond. The room is coldly empty. The large antique bed is made, its sheets ancient and dusty, but still somehow giving off a feeling of tidiness, even with cobwebs stretched between each corner of its 4-poster frame. Love desks. Love a good desk. You step towards the desk, its drawers practically overflowing with stationery. As you sift through the paper, it quickly becomes clear to you whose room this is. There are stacks of bills in Edwardine's name, filling nearly every drawer, and even once you manage to get past the layer of envelopes and trifold paper, you've hit a permafrost of receipts. It seemed she was doing her best to be meticulous and hold on to any scrap of paper that might possibly be important. But when you reach the bottom drawers, you find something entirely different. Greetings cards, letters, small wrapped packages, some opened, some sealed, some crumpled into messy balls. You open one of the cards. Both pages are taken up by a handwritten note. Tabby, hope you're doing well. Not a day goes by that I don't miss you. Hope Perlane treats you to your best Christmas yet. I'm not sure what sort of doodads you're into these days, so I sent a little something that made me think of you. I made sure they were the best shells of the bunch. Not sure how rare any of them are, but they're awfully pretty. And they've still got that beach smell. Make sure you put your ear up to them too. It doesn't compare to the real thing, but it comes close enough. And in case you think that makes me a cheapskate, I made sure to send along a little cash too, so you can get yourself something a little nicer than glorified beach trash. Make sure you get Pearl to take you to the nice toy store, because that's where I'd take you if I was there. If you get the time, I'd love to hear from you. I miss you so much, Tabby, and I'm always thinking of you. You can come out and visit me anytime. I know you've always wanted to see what it's like out east. I made sure to write my address on the back of this card, just in case you didn't know how to get a hold of me. Been missing you, my incredible, wonderful, amazing daughter. All my love. Dad, says Tabitha's dad. Tabitha dad. You pull out another, from closer to the top of the pile. Happy birthday, Tabby. It's me again, your old dad. So, the big 2-0. Can't believe my daughter's such an adult. In my mind, you're still that bouncy little kid doing cartwheels on the front lawn, telling me what various sounds animals make, like you're the professor of animal noises. I have no idea if you read these, but I'll keep writing them, even if sometimes it feels like I'm writing them to a ghost. I mean, we haven't spoken in almost 15 years. You're a whole human being now, and I've no idea what you're like. I like to think we'd get along, though. As always, my address is on the back. I hope you'll decide to come visit me one of these days. I've got a guest room all set up, just in case. It's always ready for you, kid. I love you, and I always will, no matter who you turned out to be. Love, Dad. There are years and years of these. The bottom drawer's almost entirely unopened envelopes, dated from when Tabitha would have been just a kid, or from him. You pocket a few of the cards. Closet. You make your way to the closet. Seems Edwardine kept things neat and orderly. Or as neat and orderly as she could, considering the decaying state of the place. You can't help but notice that these dresses look strikingly like the style Tabitha wears. You can imagine Pearl sifting through Edwardine's old trunks of clothes, recycling moth-eaten vintage dresses for her daughter in place of buying anything new. The only new thing here, besides her clothes and shoes, is a box, shoved off to one side. You pick it up. Child-sized overalls, striped shirts, small pair of trousers with suspenders still attached. One of those little sailor suits boys from the 50s were always wearing. When you pull out the last shirt, a note is revealed, tucked away in the bottom of a box in a protective plastic sleeve. It's scrawled in almost illegible handwriting, written in some kind of thick brown watery ink that's cracked with age. Mummy, I am in here, too, and I love you. Yeah. Your hands tremble. The note somehow making the tips of your fingers feel dirty, even as it sits behind a layer of plastic. You drop it back into the box, once again covering it with the clothes, shoving it back into the recesses of this forgotten closet where it belongs. You're done here. I got an achievement. Finished with the tucked away room, you return to the hallway. It's in the middle room. It's bad here. This is the most haunted room so far. This space was clearly once a nursery, though no child has been in here for a long, long time. We'll check the bookshelf. You don't want to spend any more time than you have to in the creepy nursery is a powerful option. We'll take a quick glance. The top shelf is occupied by antique picture books, Dick and Jane, books of nursery rhymes, ancient editions of Grimm's fairy tales. The lower shelves are full of educational material, from children's encyclopedias to writing practice workbooks. From the sheer number of learning-oriented books on the shelf, you get the impression that the children who lived here were not supposed to be as interested in fun and fiction as they were in diction and spelling. But that doesn't seem to have stopped them from making their own fun. You see quite a few books with children's art stuffed in between the pages, the corners peeking out, tiny scribbled hands waving at you from their yellowed paper. You reach for a particularly doodled-on encyclopedia off the shelf, its pages overflowing. If Daddy plays with me and Mary Bell, if my family goes to the zoo, if Mummy and Grandpa took us to work, if me and Mary Bell and Mummy and Daddy and Grandpa have a picnic. Have a picnic. That's a very small tag. I don't know about this. All assigned with the carefully scrawled signature of Alexandra Scarlet. There's a strange fantastical element to these pictures, Everyone's smiling and sitting together as any family would in a child's drawing, and yet it feels like these are drawn in the same hopeful way a child would draw a unicorn. Expressions of some reality that Alexandra could only dream of. There are less joyful illustrations as well. Daddy napping shows their father sleeping in a chair, a bottle of brown liquid conspicuously drawn on the table next to him. The two girls and what you assume must be Alexandra's doll, hovering in the doorway some distance away. Mummy going to work shows the girls crying in the upstairs window of a house as their mother walks away, an angry frown scrawled on her face. You get the feeling these are more accurate depictions of the girls' lives. The last picture you pull out gives you pause. There's a new figure here, seemingly drawn behind a barrier. The girls sit on the other side, smiles on their cartoon faces. The boy in the wall. Let's get out of here. It's bad here. You know, you'd think just go down the list and click all the options, but I think the role-playing aspect is often modified by the things you don't click. We didn't like being in the haunted nursery, so we left. The one thing caught our eye, we investigated that, then we got out of there, because we don't care about learn to read books. That's not important for us. We can already do that. We care about not being strangled by a haunted doll as we try and read The Hungry Caterpillar. We will approach the window. You carefully approach the window at the far end of the hall. That sure is a cliff. There is nothing below the window but the tops of distant trees, the ground having crumbled away. The only thing stopping you from plummeting to your death is the straining foundation that still somehow holds this place together. At least for now. Let's go into the other room. You continue following the trail of footprints, approaching the farthest room down the hall. The door was clearly meant to be hidden, but it's been left open. The room is starkly empty, save for a rug and a few candelabras. Didn't expect the candelabras. The lack of dusty old boxes and rotting antiques make it as distinct from the rest of the cluttered, forgotten spaces you've explored. The curtains on the far side of the room catch your eye. Below them you can see the edge of a tiled section of floor, the smooth white porcelain, a strange contrast against the hardwood. Examine the curtain. Cross the room and pull back the curtain. Behind it is what almost looks like a shower, but in place of a shower head is a meat hook, dangling from the end of a long, sturdy chain. As your eyes travel down the wall to the drain on the floor, you can just make out the rusty stains of what looks like long-dried blood caked in between the tiles. There's been an effort to clean it up, but just enough was missed that it doesn't escape your attention. It reminds you of something you might see in an abattoir. Well, let's move on. I think we've annoyed the ghosts. You continue forwards towards the door on the far side of the room. You exit into a short hallway. There are stairs here, leading back down to the lower floors, but there's also another door. It's hanging ajar, the many locks and deadbolts along its edge glimmering in the weak morning light. The door frame itself is gouged and splintered, evidence that some desperate creature tried to save itself from the room beyond, time and time again. You've been here before, haven't you? You step forwards. This was a prison cell. Everything about this place reeks of neglected humanity. The walls are covered in scratches, legible words mixed in with the nonsense of desperate clawing. The one window set high in the far wall is fitted with a thick pane of glass, as if the iron bars just beyond it wouldn't be enough to hold the imprisoned. You can't help but notice that the doll from your closet sits watching you from the bed, one eyelid drooping. Adds an extra layer of menace to the already deeply unsettling room. I think that's the door handle. Property of Alexandra. Your eyes are drawn to the massive, almost letters, dug as deep into the brick as the cell's prisoner could manage, highlighted with whatever pigments were available. My dog's going crazy again. And then, one final detail grabs you. A metallic glint from the filthy, bare mattress. A doorknob. I already spotted the doorknob, I got a keen eye game. This is what you've been looking for. Was it left here for you? I think Wayne might have done this. As you take it, a sound wraps around you. Music. The tinkling of piano keys, played by a clumsy hand. They echo up a narrow staircase at the end of the hall. Listen. We are exactly the kind of coward who would just get out of there. But I think it might be Wayne, and we do fancy Wayne. We've been flirting with Wayne. So we might tentatively peek. You've come this far. Clearly, you're meant to go just a little further. The stairs take you into what you have to assume was once a servant's quarters. A network of cramped passageways hidden away behind the expansive rooms of the estate without so much as a window for illumination. But you persist, and descend deeper into the bowels of the Scarlet estate, the echoing piano your only company. Soon enough, you see light again, the sun creeping in through the edges of a nearly hidden door. You're at the end of another long corridor. Its high ceilings and tall windows are almost disorienting as you step out from the cramped, gloomy stairwell. The music echoes mournfully in the vast space, a chorus of wind adding a melancholic harmony as it whips in from the overgrown courtyard outside. That means the locked door to the Forbidden Wing is just down the hall. But you've yet to confront your guide. Wayne, is that you? Is this a prank, Wayne? The musician plays on as you move cautiously through the dark. The slope now so dramatic it feels like walking downhill. Jagged remains of the floorboards jutting out like splintered trees. You didn't tell me we were walking over the edge of the cliff. I'm not sure I'd have said yes to walk over the edge of the cliff and die. That is listing quite dangerously there. The flow of notes finally stops as you reach an open doorway to what was once a music room. Wayne stands from the bench of a battered grand piano, turning to face you. So, now you've seen it, Spruce. He makes his way down the tilted floor towards you. A breeze passes by him, carrying with it the smell from the wound that is his body. Hope you enjoyed the show. He stops just a few paces away. And I trust you understand the implications of everything you've seen. If you aren't careful, and you put your faith in the wrong people, things could go very, very wrong for you. Are we still boys, Wayne? I kind of want to say, hey Wayne, what you doing? What's going on? Isn't this all a little theatrical, Wayne? There were things you needed to see, and I doubt you would have been interested in a private guided tour. Not when I'm the one who would have been given it. Wayne, I love you. Though, perhaps I was wrong. Maybe you would have had some interest in that. Still, I thought it'd be better for you to see it on your own first, and to let you choose to come to me in the end. I'm glad you did. Wayne, I love you. Tell me what's going on. Do you want to be somebody else's puppet, Spruce? I can guide you to where you need to be, but it's up to you to open your eyes. The witch holds some of the final pieces. Find her, pry him from her hands, and then everything should start falling into place. You have no idea who he could be talking about. Unless you're already starting to forget about her. Memory's a disloyal thing, innit? Physical, easily manipulated. It's been 4 years, Wayne. But something being missing from your head don't mean it's gone from the world. I don't know who you're talking about, Wayne. You'll remember when you need to. There's a float with Wayne option. Take a step towards him. You step forward. Wayne doesn't flinch as you approach, but you can sense a trepidation. He seems uncertain as to what you're about to do. What are you? I'm yours, if you'll have me. Place your hand on his chest. You slowly reach forward. You lay your hand on his chest. He doesn't flinch away. The cloth of his shirt is stiff with dried blood and God knows what else, and you can already feel a slight residue seeping onto your skin from his. His chest rises and falls, warm under your palm. His breath's even and controlled. You're really not afraid of me, are you? Wayne takes a step forward, closing what little gap remained between you. The unsteady floor causes you to stumble back against the wall, Wayne looming over you, his outstretched arm blocking you from escape. There's only him and you, locked in a near embrace. I can show you. Give you a taste of what we could be, of what I can offer you. He's breathing more heavily now. It's slight but noticeable. He's excited, but trying not to show it. If you're ready. Will this make me fall apart? Like you? No. Don't have to worry about this happening to you. Not if we do things right. I'm being rejected. But a fleeting moment with you will be bliss for both of us. No pain, no lingering aftermath, but pleasure. Nod silently. Wayne stares down at you, bright eyes shining through the veil that flutters slightly with each breath. His other arm reaches up towards your throat. He rests his palm on the nape of your neck. It's warmer than you'd expected, calloused and cracked, his fingers strong as they tighten around you. There's a sudden sharp pain, as if you've been stuck with a pin, and the unsettling feeling of something squirming. You can't help but try and jerk away from him, as the squirming slithers its way up your throat. His fingers grip tighter, holding you firmly in place. Then it stops, and a pleasant numbness starts to spread out from the base of your skull, flowing down your spine, enveloping you in a wave of bone-deep serenity. Your surroundings become unfocused, vision swimming as your head lolls to the side, hair standing on end in a full-body shiver as an intense pleasure sweeps across your skin. You're vaguely aware that your legs have collapsed from under you. Wayne holds you up, one of his arms curling around your waist, pressing you against him as you lose yourself in the sensation. Then it's over. I got an achievement. I got an achievement called Ecstasy. He lets you go. You slump to the floor as he takes a shaky step back, adjusting his sleeve. Think of that as a kiss. He has to catch his breath as he speaks. Before you have the chance to respond, he's gone, slipping back into the shadows. So that's Wayne. That's our boyfriend. I think we're an item now. You make your way back to where you woke up and slot the handle into the secret door on the wall. It twists, and the door pulls back, and you stumble through your closet and back into your bedroom. You lean against the doorframe as the last dregs of the intoxicating kiss leave your system, returning you to some semblance of normality. The estate has gotten to you. After the events of this morning, your body burns with a ferocious itch to leave the place behind, to be anywhere but here. You leave in a haze, mindlessly That's getting cut. Mindlessly grabbing clothes and an uncharged phone, barely even noticing your surroundings as you rush outside. The morning's revelations seizing your body and mind alike with a suffocating grip. Even the lingering afterglow of your entanglement with Wayne can't fill the sinking pit dug into your stomach. The cell, the doll. Could Tabitha have known about this? I should have probably asked more questions before I did that. It's not possible that Wayne could be leading you astray. You've had a glimpse of the brilliant colours of his soul. Something that beautiful, that expansive, couldn't lie to you. Wouldn't lie to you. Tabitha can't be trusted. Of course Tabitha can't be trusted. Nobody who has the things you just saw hidden away in a locked wing of their house can be trusted. So what are you going to do about it? I'm not going to the cops. The cops suck and they hate me already. I kind of want to control... Tabitha's rich though. Tabitha has a gun. Let's just go home. I kind of want it. Look, this is the correct option probably for where we're going, for the path we're on. However, what if we try and just nope out? What if I just saw the meat hooks in the child prison and I just went, no, I'm good. You've seen everything a sane person could possibly want to see in Scarlet Hollow. It's time for you to leave. Who knows how long it'll take you on foot, but every road leads somewhere, right? And a road isn't here. If you're fortunate, you'll cross paths with a car willing to pick you up sooner rather than later. Yeah, let's hitchhike out of here. That'd be great. You aren't spending another second in this godforsaken town. You start down the road, and you don't stop. Past Main Street, past the boarded up library. Not your problem anymore. We did fuck that one up. Past the bus stop and the gas station on the edge of town. One foot in front of the other. Hey! Miles stops you before you're able to leave town, doing his best to hide that he's out of breath. He must have been running to catch up. That's a horrible shot. Spruce, wait. I have to talk to you. Something going on, but I can't remember what. It has to do with Sybil and somebody else. And that somebody feels really important. And I feel like if I don't remember before it's too late, somebody's gonna... Never mind, this was stupid. I just sound crazy. I'm going away. I'm going away now. I could just stare at him. I think my character would just stare at him. Would just stand and look at him until he gets embarrassed and leaves. You say nothing, and he takes a deep breath, attempting to gather himself. Damn it, I can't focus or remember shit. Look, there's this crazy guy on the edge of town, Julius. He was always asking me questions and writing it all down in a notebook. Get that notebook. I'll get him to talk about it. He's got everything I know, plus whatever his weird crazy guy theories are. They're probably all true anyway. I was gonna do it. I didn't want to have to ask for help, but it's like, I can't think straight. I need somebody to fix this for me. I don't want to feel like this anymore. Not again. Please, not again. He shoves a map into your hands and turns away, hiding his face as it cracks with emotion. I really didn't want to ask anybody for help. That's how bad this is, okay? Don't tell anybody what I said, though. I don't need people thinking I'm crazy. And then he's walking away, back up towards Main Street, as if there's some place he's supposed to be. You have a map and a place to go. A thread to follow, if that's what you want. Or you could continue on your way and see where the road might take you. I wonder if it lets you just leave and not be here anymore? Friday Flea Day? Hey gamers, I'm going again. I've thought about this one. I don't want to, This in the kind of production where we click one option, see where it goes, then load game and click the other option. We're committing if we click anything. And I like the idea of just going, just wandering off, but you know, the new crazy guy just dropped. We don't even know yet. Fresh crazy guy? Fresh crazy? He's probably on the way anyway. We can always just leave after we meet the crazy guy. Could get a little bit of information from a crazy guy about the crazy things that are going on. I think as much as I think it'd be very funny if it let me just walk out of the game, I think something probably happens that stops you if you just try and leave. It would be funny if it just let me walk out of the video game, maybe into a different video game. Could end up in Mario. But no, I do think Spruce is curious about this new lad, and we're gonna do a little bit. We're not committing to an investigation. We've still got one foot out the door. It's all kind of fucked. No one. I think we've alienated all of our friends except Wayne, and Wayne's kind of weird. As much as we love Wayne. Yeah, you normally have and Stella just hanging out with you whenever you're doing your investigations, and it's just us right now. There's no one else around. But we're curious. There's many strange things going on. There's so many different types of ghost and ghoul around here, around these parts. See what another journeyman knows. I got an achievement. I reached the farms without getting arrested. As you make your way along the sunlit dirt road, you feel it. A tingling at the back of your skull. An urgency, almost like a hand pressing you gently forwards, with the threat that it might become more forceful if you don't comply. Like so much crying. Crying that can only stop if you tend to it. You pick up the pace. You lose track of time, your attention glued to each step, your mind ceding control to your feet. They know exactly where you need to be. Hey, it's Reese! And so the trance goes, until it's halted by the unlikely sight of Reese, staring pensively down the path ahead. He startles to attention, seemingly breaking from his own trance at your sudden approach. Love Reese. We're just gonna kiss all the monster boys. Spruce! Can't believe you managed to sneak up on me. I guess I'm more distracted than I thought. I didn't think I'd still be around at this point. Reese is, by the way, he's like half demon. After last night, I thought I was gonna run and kept on running, but that didn't really work. I managed to get to the edge of town, but it was like someone was grabbing my hat and squeezing harder for every step I took. Couldn't breathe. I was sure something horrible was going to happen if I kept walking. I couldn't leave. All I could do was keep walking around the town line, trying to find some other way out. And then I started feeling something else. That's a ditchling, by the way. They're always there in the background. Especially out in the woods. I think it's the things you've been finding. Those carved stones. They're talking to me. Not in words, just feelings and pictures. There are more of them. There's one close by, and it's really loud. So loud that I can't ignore it. Even on the other side of town, it's just yelling and yelling. Oh my god, I sound crazy, don't I? You know, crazy Reese. Probably swamp gas. What this stone's saying to you? Can you figure it out? It's hard to explain. There's one in the library, right? That one feels like a headache, like it's trying to go somewhere and keeps hitting a wall. And up at the mines it sounds like whispering, and it feels cold, even though it looks like fire when I focus on it. This one, it's like roots underground, warm and growing, taking something that doesn't belong to it. It's lonely, but it doesn't want me here. It wants me to leave so badly. Something stirs in your mind, an emotion, angry and petulant. Keep going, it says. Keep going. You know, crazy Reese. Good, good. I mean, not good, like it's a good thing to feel it, but it's a good thing that we both... I wasn't saying anything about kissing all the monster boys. He was behind my microphone. I didn't notice him until now. We both feel it, I guess. Just wish he would stop. And then get out of Spruce's way. Oh, fuck off! What's your problem with me anyway? Leave, unless you want another wounded limb. Reese clutches his shoulder reflexively. The arm still hangs slightly limp, weaker than the other, the way it did yesterday after Wayne touched it. Then he turns and runs. It's a cowardly thing, at the end of the day. Can't save you. But you can save yourself, with some guidance. The witch is our most vulnerable now. She's dangerous to me, but not to you. She can't hurt you in any way that matters. But you can hurt her. Just be careful of the farmer. He places a guiding hand on your back, urging you forward. And that's all it takes. Your feet are moving almost on their own. You've been set on your course. The trees part. The woods thinning and giving way to messy patches of scraggly end-season garden vegetables seated in between a pair of farmhouses on opposite hills. Not that the details are important. Your destination is the further of the two structures. Arma, what's going on? I got a page from the sheriff and nobody's here. Didn't you die? Where are the cops? I called him on account of Bo went missing. Last I heard, he said he wanted to go give Julius a piece of his mind. First, the sheriff went in alongside that white deputy, the one in the sunglasses. But then something happened, and there was a gunshot, and then this awful howling, while like no creature I ever heard. That's when the other deputy, the black one, he ran in and the door shut behind him. Nobody's come out since. So everyone's inside? Starting to get concerned. I'm running out of folks to call for help. Wait, is that Spruce? The hell are they doing here? I did have my eyes closed when Dr. Kelly I thought was eaten. I'm sure she'll be fine. You close your eyes. There's a loud scream, followed by a crunch and a pop. Then comes a loud splash of organs hitting the ground. You hear another round of crunching and tearing, and then silence. Must be over by now. Do we chance one eye? You open your eyes. Sorry you had to be here for that. You're aware that this is a crime scene, right? And that the cops are all missing? The talking's just noise. The words don't matter. There's a humming in your head, almost like a voice. One you can just barely make out. But you know it will be clearer the closer you get to the stone. You start wandering up towards the farmhouse at the top of the hill. Oh, come on. Where do you think you're going? But you continue forwards. You barely even notice your hand slipping over the doorknob. It's gonna be alright, Irma. We'll get Bo out of there, I promise. And now you're inside. Sheriff Hugby dangles in the middle of the room. An axe, attached to some strange mechanism in the ceiling, is embedded in his face, holding up his corpse in an imitation of life. It's bad here. Jesus. Careful, John. There are traps all over the damn place. You need someone with a keen eye, I think. Past the body, you can see a giant pumpkin through the door to the garage, cracked open. Its guts strewn across the floor, seeds dotted across the hardwood like a trail of breadcrumbs leading to the basement stairs. The hell's going on here? Derrickson, is the doc here yet? We need a medical professional down here. His voice is coming from the basement. That's where you need to be. He's been shot, John. I think you better call somebody. Doctor's here? Julius, you should just let her come down. You don't really want the officer to die down here, do you? I'm not the one blocking the stairs. I'm not the one you gotta convince. It won't be blocked for you. That stone wants you here. Everybody shut up. Avery, that's your name, right? Get pressure on that wound. That wound? Yes, ma'am. Get away from him, kid. But the doctor... I don't care. Let him bleed. I think this is going on downstairs. You're only making problems for yourself, Tremaine. Dr. Kelly quickly pulls out her phone. Damn it, there's no signal in here. I gotta step outside. You keep holding that wound, and no one else had better die while I'm gone. The doctor pulls at the door, but a weave of fibrous tendrils hold it shut. It would seem that the same forces that let all of you in refuse to let anyone leave. Are we stuck here? What the hell are we supposed to do now? But you already know what to do. I guess I'll approach the basement. You're vaguely aware that Officer Derrickson is trying to stop you, but he's too nervous to take a step. You reach the basement door and start to claw at the weird, fleshy vines blocking your way. They're strong, but they relent under your touch, welcoming you down below. Who the hell? Oh hey, it's Avery. He said he was down there, but I didn't connect that it was him. So you tried to undermine me, witch. Should have known you'd try and find your way around the rules. You've trapped the town. This isn't what any of us wanted. You should nullify the deal before this gets any worse. It's just unhappy. Didn't think something like that would be so opinionated. But I have a plan to placate it. If it wants a less broken body, it can have one. And then we'll see if it still feels cheated enough to hold a grudge. It's not too late, Enoch. You can let Eddie have the baby, and your family can go back to normal. Happy and unburdened. I'll clean everything up. It can be like nothing ever happened. I'll leave town. Manipulative hag. That's what you wanted all along, wasn't it? This whole ordeal was just an opportunity for you to have access to it. Well, I know better than to hand an ounce of power over to you, Verena. Hey. You're not dead, are you? Babbling coherently about your vision. Which seems like, well, these are anyway. Family. Enoch, the stone. Witch? The witch? Sybil? She sent you? She tricked you into taking her side in all this? Guess I should have known. I probably wasn't the only one whose life she decided to fuck with. But that all ends now. I'm in charge here, and I'll get what I was promised. Hey man, calm down. It's all good. Speak for yourself. Oh. Okay. Your vision finally focuses, and your mind is once again your own. Avery watches you furtively from across the room. The man, Julius, holds a gun in silent threat. In a silent threat. That moved. Franklin clutches at a nasty wound in his side, blood spilling out into the dirt floor of the unfinished basement. And in the corner is Bo. Something is attached to him. The source of the awful noise. It stutters with pained inhalations. Bo's still breathing, but he does not look well. The stone brought you here and stuck you in the middle of another nightmare. Spruce, we can't get to you. The door's sealed shut. Even as she yells to you, her voice is faint, barely audible behind the now thickened roots and vines that block your escape. Let's bring Spruce up to speed, Julius. They look a little shell-shocked. Where do I fucking begin? Alright. So the witch. I got her doing some shit she shouldn't have been doing, and she offered me a deal if I kept it to myself. I always wanted to raise a boy of my own. God never saw fit to give me the chance. She gave me all the means to right that injustice. Only it obviously didn't go quite the way it was supposed to. Calloway's interfered, just like always. Made it so I had to hatch him earlier than he was ready. He came out hungry. Too hungry for me to handle. Kept trying to get at me, so I had to hole up down here. Been stuck since fucking Wednesday night. Damn roots won't let me leave, and they've clogged up the drain, so I haven't been able to call the witch and get her to make things right. But I'm a man of preparedness. Figured I could wait it out, until Bo here decided to trespass. Guess he lost a tussle with my boy, and the two of them wound up down here with me. And that just about sums it up. I guess in the end, it's only fair. A son for a son. And birth ain't ever pretty, is it? It's not like doing it the old-fashioned way is all sunshine and roses. Just hope he winds up looking more like a person when he's done cooking. I don't give a shit about your story, Tremaine. None of that gives you a reason to shoot a cop. Self-defense. Castle doctrine. Do you know how to talk to the witch? Of course I fucking do. Think I'm some sort of idiot who makes a deal without somewhere to get out of it? Not my fault that things went to shit before I could call her up. Fact is, I tried, but the only means of contact I've got is that faucet over there. It's fed by natural spring water. That's her preferred method of communication. Like her internet, I suppose. But as you can see, it's currently out of order. My boy's got his meat all in there. We won't be getting a drop out of it until he's calmed down. You'll have your witch as soon as all this is settled. So don't do anything stupid, none of you. The conversation is interrupted by Bo shifting uncomfortably as the creature lets out a guttural moan. So what are we supposed to do? Just wait until the Calloway kid dies? That's exactly right. My kid gets born, and then we'll all forget this ever happened. I don't think there's anything to do here except wait. Oh wow, there's so much. What happens after this is finished? Is it just going to be a normal kid? Would you say that about those little premature babies that keep in the incubators? We don't know what he's going to look like, but that don't matter because he's my son and I love him. And I know he'll get big and strong if he just gets himself enough food. Even if he doesn't change, he's kind of cute like this anyway. Definitely weird, but cute. Why do you even want a kid, guy? Kids suck. Like I need to explain myself to you. I make a habit of going around asking everybody why they had kids. Why I'm the one asking? Never thought you were the kind of guy who wanted a family. You seem to like being left alone. So why? Fine. Only because you're asking. Kid gives me something to live for. Somebody to do right for. Some hope that life goes on after I die. Same reason anybody has kids, damn it. I don't know. Sorry, Julius. I should have talked to you more. I'll come out here to visit. You did plenty. Don't worry about it. Buzz squirms with discomfort. The baby seems to be digging deeper. Let's ask about the witch. Why do you think Sybil's the witch? She's just helpful. Oh, sure she is. She was all kinds of helpful once I had dirt on her that she wanted to be kept quiet. Dirt? What did she do? She's always seemed really nice to me. Look, I'm a man of my word. She told me I'd get what I wanted, and I told her she'd get my silence. I'll stand by that. And of course, all of y'all think she's nice. Everybody in town drinks that tea. Seems to make people awful fond of her. I think we did drink the tea. What'd you catch her doing? Oh, you probably won't say. Like I said, not at liberty to discuss. It's in character to have asked anyway. Perhaps it had something to do with that husband of hers and whatever it was he was sick with. Husband? She's married? But she's so young. Young? The old crone? Must be talking about different people, kid. And it ain't like she's married now anyway. He's been dead for some time. On account of the illness. Miles said you had a notebook, that you've asked him a lot of questions. He sent me to you to get help fixing something that's wrong with the world. I don't go around showing my notebook to just anybody. For all I know, she sent you up here to test whether I'd be able to keep my mouth shut or not. But that's some extremely... You kind of barely did. But that's some extremely vague shit anyway. What am I supposed to do with that? I don't know what's wrong with the world. I've been stuck in my basement for the past 2 days. What the hell do I know about what's going on out there? Can't even get in contact with the old crone because the tap's all clogged. Not that I didn't fucking try. If it's Miles, did something happen to Sybil? He's got a different shirt every time. It's Lemon's today. He'd asked for help if she was okay. Maybe she's in trouble. As if that hag would never get into any trouble she didn't mean to get into. Now you'd be able to understand that, now with all the tea she pours down your throat, and the throats of damn near everybody in town. She's got just about everyone convinced she's God's gift to the hauler. Bo twitches, his skin blossoming with fresh bruises as the thing takes more of him. What are the terms of the deal you made with the witch? I get the feeling there's probably a way to save this man, but, you know. I don't know him all that well. And I already got his dad killed. What are the terms of the deal you made with the witch? When I caught her doing what she was doing, she offered me this ritual thing in exchange for my silence. Offered it right away, like she could just see right through me. Knew exactly what I wanted most. I suppose what she didn't know was I'm not the kind of man who turns somebody in. Anyway, her business was her business. She didn't have to bother giving me some recipe to cook a boy from dirt, blood, and pumpkin seeds, but I took it anyway. Then I just sat on it for a while, till a moment of weakness. What was the ritual? Did you do something to Duke's pumpkin? Wasn't his damn pumpkin. It was on my property, and the only reason it got as big as it was is because I fed it my own blood every night since the day it was planted. Bleeding on the dirt like some kind of Satan worshipper. If that don't make it mine, I don't know what does. God knows I felt crazy doing it though, but I'm not proud to say my judgment was a bit clouded. I was in a bad way. The thought of bringing a boy into the world was just about the only thing that made me feel like I should stick around. Not that any of you need to know about all that, only serves as explanation as to why I trusted her in the first place. I think we probably have one more before Bo dies. Does your son have a name? Don't name a kid till after it's born. Even I know that. Bad luck if you do it early. Okay. I'm not helping the cop. I'm simply not willing to do that. Not even making the vaguest of efforts. I'm not saying what kind of man lets another man make sacrifices for him either. That's stupid. The witch taught you how to take care of this thing once it's done? Meant to be a kid when it's done. Other people seem to figure out how to raise those all the time. Don't need her giving me parenting tips. Most babies don't eat people to live. This doesn't seem that unusual to me, actually. Isn't this kind of what babies do to their mothers? It's not like they're eating takeout in there for 9 months, you know? Exactly. What the kid said. The things under Bo's skin shift, writhing in an imitation of clenching muscle. Oh, jeez. I think Bo might be on the way out. I'm tempted to just say, well, I guess we'll wait out. It looks like Bo's done. Offer him something better. Like what? What you suggested? Put him on the cop. That'd probably be a better one. The cop is bleeding though. This is fresher. Well, it looks like Bo's done. It's not looking great. Guess it's fine. You rest against the wall, waiting, watching the thing as it slowly solidifies. Its breath's more confident as Bo's grow shallow. I can't let this happen. He attempts to lean forward, reaching with a bloodied hand for his gun, but he winces, his hand pausing, then falling back to his side. That's right, just sit and watch. Think I put enough holes in you already. You don't need another one. Isn't somebody gonna do something? Everyone watches each other with unease. Is it alright if I sit by him? Sure, but I'll shoot you if you make any moves, kid. I don't wanna, but I will. Avery shifts, settling closer to Bo. They take his hand in theirs, which doesn't seem to do anything to comfort the man as the roots sink deeper, taking more. Sorry, Bo. It'll be over soon, okay? You're not alone. Nobody should die alone. I can't die, Mama. would be sad. I got an achievement for witnessing something's birth. But he does. The thing finally pulls away from what's left of Bo, and in place of the dead man's breathing, its ungodly cries fill the room. Shh, it's alright, boy. You just killed a man. No, I watched him die. I killed you. Or at least I will have if you ever finish dying. The creature's connection to the womb has been severed, and the house groans unnaturally, straining under the weight of the meat that infiltrated its walls. The faucet in the corner of the room, finally unclogged, bursts to life, and water pours out onto the dirt floor. You wanted your witch? Well, here she comes. Did she tell you what you're supposed to do with it now? Do you know what it eats? I mean, what else it eats? Who else it eats? Your hands are wet. The water's spreading, pulling around you, making the floor slippery with mud. We're not calling him it. He gets a proper name now. Joseph, after my father. And I bought some baby food. You think he'll like creamed spinach? The water's suddenly much higher. It rises up past your ankles. Cry quietly in the corner. So maybe the vibe for this one, for this episode. You sob quietly to yourself, bringing your knees to your chest. The water keeps on rising. The other people in the room look concerned, but their voices are distant, like they're talking from behind a wall, and their movements slow. It's as if they're already underwater. And then the flood takes you. You feel like you're choking. There's water in your lungs. Oh, there should be. Your ears are filled with the sound of a rushing current. Oh, Jesus. It's cold and dark, and there are people screaming somewhere. There are bodies in the water with you. They are all dead. 1,000 corpses. 1,000 homes, all torn to pieces. But the flood recedes. It hasn't happened yet. You are the mother of a daughter, and your daughter has told you about her terrible dream. It's going to kill everyone. You're not the one who had the vision. Not yet. It's only been described to you by the daughter you've been teaching, as your mother taught you. You're the only one who can stop it, Mother, but you won't be strong enough. The words are heavy. It goes a little bit off the screen here. Guess village doomed then. No, I've seen a path forward. The only path that doesn't end in death. Take my power. I give it willingly. Then you can save them all. Save them all and lose you. Can't be that I'm destined to lose you. It's too cruel. Also, my curse is winking. There's one way you can keep me with you. Take my power. I'll live in you as I once did. I will never leave you. Accept and take your daughter back. Reject and let 1,000 die. Man, I don't know what's going on. Nah, I'm good. You deny your daughter. The flood comes, and despite your best efforts, the village is swallowed. 1,000 bodies and 1,000 homes. But that's not how it happened. This has already come to pass, and there is no changing it now, no matter how much you might wish it had all gone differently. Okay. You accept your daughter's decision. You accept your daughter's decision. You accept your daughter's You accept your daughter's decision. I can't fucking say it. You accept your daughter's choice. She's not the child she once was, and there's a confidence in her that you have no choice but to respect. You take her back. her power becomes yours. The flood does not come. The village is saved, and no one ever knows the sacrifice that was made for their lives. No one but you. Years have passed. You outlive everyone you used to know. You move on. You meet new people. You start a new life. You have another daughter. This time the vision is yours. The piece of your first daughter that lives in you shows you what's coming. Rotting bodies in the streets, the smell of sickness on the wind, church bells ringing for an endless parade of funerals, an entire city whose gates will never reopen. Everyone inside the walls is falling to the curse of the plague. You are among their number. Your body no longer strong enough to heal even itself. You are not enough to stop it. Not as you are. There is another path, a narrow thread. If you were stronger, you could tug at it and unravel the tapestry of the future. Mother, what's wrong? Your daughter will never be as strong as you are, not after what you had to do, but she still carries in her some strength. Enough. Eat other daughter. Continue to eat daughters to gain power. You do not offer her an explanation before trying to take her back. She rebels. Her power's weak, but enough that she is not easy to contain. She's frightened. I guess we die. Your daughter leaves you. You resign yourself to the future. She's one of the first to die. The streets flood with disease, and the bodies are buried, then burned, then left in heaps on the streets, until no one is left to remember any of their names. But that's not how it happened. You do not let your daughter run from you. No plague comes. The city never knows that it would have been a ruin. But there is an unhappiness in you. She didn't understand, and what you took of her is angry, confused, restless. You will have to carry that with you. It is part of the burden of what you are. Though no one knows the depth of what you've done, over the years, you have not escaped notice. You find yourself in a capital, in a place whose name has changed too many times to count. A war's brewing. The eyes of those who hold fate in their hands are on you, their lips asking which threads to pull and which to cut. And the tapestry is once again revealed to you. The war rages, and it never stops raging. Bleeding that spans generations, children born to die, decades of pain that leave a raw wound on the world. Or it ends before it begins. The few die for the sake of the many. You can guide powerful hands to crush those that need crushing, if only you have more power of your own. You call your daughter to you. You raise them differently these days. The disquiet left by the reluctant daughter taught you a permanent lesson. They don't need convincing anymore. They are ready to return to you whenever you need them. I'll be fine. You have a change of heart. Has to end sometime. You let her go. Hundreds of thousands suffer. Countless lives are cut short. Your daughter's among them, even in her privileged place by your side. The war reaches her, and the both of you burn along with everyone else. You saved her for nothing. But of course that's not how it happened. This daughter joins her sisters easily, as she's been trained to do. You're the only one who will remember her sacrifice, and her name. Small rebellion is crushed before it becomes a revolution. The people in power are happy. You leave. You don't want to see any more visions of war. You set your sights on a place where there are no kings. And yet, even an ocean away, power finds you. A man with aspirations. Anyone can hold power here, you've discovered, if they're vicious enough to want it. The hunger in him senses the power in you, and for a time you humour him. You allow him to give you a life of comfort, you and your daughter. You don't see a future where he ever grows more powerful than you can manage. Not until the vision comes. A war like none the world has witnessed. A fledgling nation devoured in the nest. A man who sits on a throne where none were meant to be. The world under his cruel fist, bowing to its crushing weight. The very ocean stained red by his influence. He's already on his way. You realise too late. You've been too close to him to see it. Your choices have already narrowed. The war's coming whether you strike now or not. The loose thread sticking out from a mass of blood, with you too weak to grasp it. But you have a daughter. You always have a daughter, until you don't. Look. We gotta stop. We're full. We've eaten so many daughters. Of course you are. But the world needs you. You can't let it end like this. The part of you that is your first daughter can't let you. I raised this man before his name could mean anything. She joins her sisters, as is her destiny, and you remove him from the world. The hole where he was is filled by lesser men, none of whom remember whose shoes they're stepping into, and none of whom can hope to command the way he would have. Blood is spilled. Less blood, but you still feel every drop. You hide yourself away from the world. You and your daughter. The visions still find you, but here they are small. The decisions are simple. You make them all the same. Helping where you can. The storm halted. Conflict settled. Until one day, when you are shown a dark pit. Splintering wood. Debris trapping everyone inside. Bodies burning as the very rock catches fire. Children screaming as their flesh bubbles. Then silence as lungs fill with smoke. You know the choice that lies in front of you. I think this might be the wrong choice this time, but I'm not sure. Because there was a mine collapse. I'll try not this time anyway. Take your daughter's hand, and you look her in the eyes. They're green, like yours. You don't want to do it this time. You stare out over the hills together as a plume of smoke rises into the air, but you can't hear the screams from out here. You assume you will die one day, like anyone else. After all, you're long past due. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to know your grandchildren before you go. Then the man comes, and with him, a vision. He's already decided. He's bringing something here, something ravenous that doesn't belong, but that he's been pressing at the edges of your world, trying to find a way in. It has its way in him, whether you help him or not. More of the thread you followed comes into focus, and for the first time you follow it beyond your death. Disaster after disaster, crisis after crisis, thousands of years of little cuts that you weren't there to mend. On and on it goes, longer than you can ever hope to follow. Its toll eternal and incalculable. But there's a new thread too. If you're patient enough, if you're strong enough when the moment finally comes, and if you do everything right, you can devour that thing that sits outside the world. And it'll give you so much power that you will never have to take back a daughter again. You could fix as many things as you care to fix. Floods, plagues, wars, kings. You look into her green eyes, so much like yours. You can't, but you did. Summon the entity into the world. You welcome her back, as you have with every daughter before her, and you help the man. He's arrogant. He cheats the thing from another world in every way he can. He wastes your time. There will have to be more daughters before the day comes that this will be over. But days and daughters come and go, and you are very patient. You have to be. If you're to stop the hurt, that would scar a world without you there to guide it. And now, you are here, on the cusp of the end, the final door. You! What are you doing here? Are you real? No, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a dream or not. I've already made my decision anyway. Don't bother trying to talk me out of it. I finally have a real purpose. And now that I know what that purpose has always been, I can't go back, or it'd hang over me for the rest of my stupid small life. I have to run to the loo. I'll be right back. I had to go since before it got weird. I'm sorry. What exactly is she trying to prevent? Do you even know? That thing Enoch brought, whatever it is, breaking out and causing havoc. And all those disasters my mum would be able to stop if she takes its power for herself. I'm so much smaller than all of that. But in this moment, I can be what stops it. I can be big enough. My life can be meaningful. Do you really feel like you have to sacrifice yourself for your life to have meaning? Working at a shitty little general store in a dying town. Yeah, I'd call that pretty meaningless. That's not why I asked. I don't think you gotta. I'm not a big Kanika head, I'm gonna be honest. I just think this is very defeatist. You don't gotta do this. Yes, I do. You saw what's gonna happen if I don't. What am I supposed to do? Go back to my normal life after this? Knowing how many people are gonna suffer through the generations because I was too selfish to save them? How could I ever live with myself? Doing exactly what you did with the general store, throwing your life away because someone else is asking you to. Why do you think yours is less important than anyone else's? Yeah. Yeah, Keen Eye, you tell her. I like that one too. But this one I can only do because I'm very smart. I don't. I just know I'm in a position where I can make a difference. And this is how I do that. And I'm just one person. We're not talking about trading one life for another. It's so much bigger than that. All of this is bigger than me. Honestly, the fact I can have this kind of influence feels like an honor. I'm in a rare position to change the future, and I barely even have to do anything to make it happen. It's gonna erase you from existence. That's worse than death. No one will even know what you did for him. I don't need people to know. I'm not doing it for people to like me or anything. Though I guess it still makes me a little sad to think about. Everyone wants to be remembered after they died. It's only natural I'd be feeling a little cheated that even my closest friends are just going to go on with their lives, completely forgetting about me. No, I can't. Quiet, dear. There's no need to let Spruce talk you in circles. You already know the right answer, remember? I don't know anymore. Spruce, you have no idea the kind of danger you're putting yourself in by being here. You think you're doing the right thing, but all you're doing is dooming countless lives, starting with yours. Tabitha too. I'm sure you've noticed how stressed she's been. She carries an incredible weight on her shoulders, but she can finally be free if you let me do what needs doing. Kanika can't save you on her own, but I can. I'm only able to tell you so much, but I tried to show you what I could. I'd hoped you'd be able to trust me by now, for your sake. This is the only way your story gets a happy ending. Wayne's my boy. I'm good. I got a guy for that. Sybil flashes you a pitying look. You poor dear. Do you really feel like he's the only one you can turn to? You think I've been manipulating you. Yet that man somehow managed to earn your loyalty. Just because he's been kind? Kindness is easy when you're free to lie. Truth is what's hard. I'm giving you the truth now. Can't you just say stuff? Why are you like this? Those are the rules. Every bargain has its rules. I'm tempted to just grab Kanika and pull her free. I think I might be about to game over though when I do that. You reach forward, grabbing Kanika by the arm and doing your best to wrench her free from her mother's grasp. It's fine we saved because I went to the bathroom. She's all but given up, her wrist limp in your grasp, her eyes dim and resigned. You pull as hard as you can, expending more effort on this action than you have on any one movement in your life. Stop! You don't know what you're doing. Still you pull. Why do you care so much about what happens to me? It's better if I go. You can feel your body tearing with the effort, but you hold the best you can, even as her hand slips through your fingers. But a spark floods Kanika's eyes at the sight of your effort, and a hand grasps your forearm with vigor. Let me go! I don't want to do this anymore! Stop! You don't know what you're doing! Kanika, please! You understand how important this is! I don't think I do. I only understood what you wanted me to understand. You didn't let me think any differently. Well, I'm thinking differently now. I'm getting the hell out of here, and I'm taking Spruce with me. At her declaration, the dream around you starts to waver. It's losing its shape. No, come back! It's too late. The illusion is coming apart. The world shifts nauseatingly around you. You feel like you're being buoyed upwards, ascending rapidly, reality rushing to meet you, until finally you surface. You're outside. It's raining. You have no idea where you are. Tulip? Jenny? I got a second achievement for finishing episode 5, and I got the ones for doing it with my perks. That's the end. Only one major content update remains until the story reaches its conclusion in the final chapter. Chapters. That means episode 6 is next, and then the finale. That's what they've always said, I think. I think 7 was always the end. Stay tuned for updates on this final release by joining our Discord. It might be a good idea to save the game. Good grief. I don't know what I think. I thought the end was very good. I think I might have missed a lot of stuff in the middle by making terrible choices before that. I don't know. I think they didn't count on people being so useless and terrible at everything that they mostly failed in every situation, and then they didn't have anything planned for people who just get sad and try and leave town. I mean, I guess they did. I guess they did. We ran into Reese. That was nice. Love to see him. What a good boy. Ate his mom. I don't know how long it's going to be before another episode, though. Probably not in the minority on saving Kanika. No idea what that's going to cause to happen, though. I kind of like a guy just kind of blundering around and ending up in these weird situations where there's a like supernatural thing going on and they do not interact with it until it's finished going on. That keeps happening. We didn't save Bo. I'm not interested in saving Bo. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of prefer the weird, horrible meat baby to Bo. So like, you know, if you got to pick between Bo and Meat Baby, Joseph they call him, it's Meat Baby every time. I imagine I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching Kesh's game. Don't know if don't know if anyone else in the squad's doing one. It's a good game. This it's a lot of fun. Sometimes you have to wait 4 years for the next 2 hours of gameplay though. That's an issue. It does mean you forget a lot. I actually remembered Bo. I think I'd only talked to him once. I still think Chapter 3 is number 1 and Chapter 4 is number 2. I did like the end of this one a lot. I like the beginning. And the middle were good. I just felt like, I don't know. I guess that's a whole puzzle if you try and save him, but I didn't want to, so I wanted to help the cop. Every path to saving him seemed like it involved helping the cop in some way. We don't help cops here. I don't want that kind of bad karma. At any rate, this has been Scarlet Hollow, Chapter 5. Oh, maybe I'll think about it a little and then have some closing thoughts. I'm an octopus now. That's cool for me. And I'll see you next time. Bye, gamers.